Come on, let's do it. Come on, doctor. Let's survive. It is going to be a class of experience, so we'll cut out the talking and try to do something which we have to do. Wow. 108 reason to do Kundalini Yoga? Wow. Nirva, you have better reason than me.
They're from beginning yoga students. Stories.
Wow, we are going to read it? 108 reason to do Kundalini Yoga. Can you believe that? Just twice. Ladies and gentlemen, today we like to practice something and not have any judgment, it's good or bad, right or wrong. The fact is, the belief is, our knowledge is, our reality is, we are part of infinity. Therefore, any limit we put on ourselves is ours. And the only limit we put ourselves is diversification. We tremendously diversify ourselves, and the diversification totally keep gorges, keep gaps, and a lot of life slip through gaps. That's how it is. God made everybody with only difference is the caliber. If you put in a ship coal, when it reaches the other side of the port, you can only unload coal. You cannot get a gold. But if you put in a ship gold, when it goes through the ocean and goes to the port of calling, then it's a gold. If you understand what I'm saying, then you understand reality of life. You don't have to increase your riches in life. It is a stupid attempt. You don't have to increase your knowledge in your life. This all what we do, earthly thing. You have forgotten one thing, you have to increase your life, the caliber. Caliber. You can't take a BB gun and kill an elephant. And you can't take an elephant gun and kill a sparrow with it. Nothing will be left. So it's a matter of caliber, it's not a matter of person. Your beauty is caliber, your strength is caliber, your success is caliber, your happiness is caliber. It's not your physical, mental and even spirit. And don't misunderstand what I'm saying. If you're in reality of life, you'll find out millions of opportunities you lost because you didn't have a caliber. Can you deliver? Depends upon your caliber. You are fine 1 minute, and next minute you go berserk because your caliber doesn't hold the challenge. It's not to hold the challenge, to meet the challenge, it's to deliver the challenge and then be plus with it. So today we will do one very humble kriya. Right? Simple. We are invoking the power of the Gyan, the Jupiter. We are not silent about it. We'll do exactly the way it is, and we'll do it precisely. This is how it goes. Parvati, you are my love. You are my inspiration. You are my spirit. You prevail you bring me the essence of reverence, worship. Parvati in return says, Lord, I want to know if you are very happy today. And Lord Shiva says, Parvati, ask any blessing. Parvati says, I cannot stand the suffering of the humans. You are the Lord of death and Lord of deliverance. So tell me the secret with which the humans can be elevated from pain. And Lord Shiva says, and whatever he says, you will just act. That's all. You will perform. She said, and he said, any human who wants to reach his fulfillment should sit very regally in an impressive pose where he feels absolutely comfortable. Do it. Whatever it says, you do it. I say nothing to it. I'm not going to add my word to it, not. Wherever you feel comfortable, that's the end of it. No second chance. Just balance yourself. You must be on your pelvic bone totally balanced. Your spine should be in a maximum alert form, and you should sit properly. With your right hand, you will touch the Saturn finger, and you will raise your right finger straight, and my posture is exactly true. That's what you have to do. You watch the miracle of this exercise. He says, so thereafter, he shall ask the power of the Jupiter and will get in the Shani Mudra. This is the Shani Mudra, you raise the power of the Jupiter finger, that's it. The person shall ask his self and place it at the heart chakra. This is what exact posture is for. All these four fingers must touch the four mounts. You have to. There are mounts, four mounts right at the foot, and then you twist with that, dump it in, and put this, and you put it here, and hold it tight. Accurate? And you will turn your tongue like the reverse of the serpent and touch the upper palate and press it hard. And you put your eyes at the tip of the nose, and you will see a blue circle underneath which you hold dear to your divine self. And you shall breathe consciously, feeling the death is delivering you. And the mantra will go in your heart, and I'm going to repeat that mantra. Mritu name amrita. Mritu name amrita. Mritu name amrita. It'll be a constant cycle of this sound. Pressed, your tongue pressed with the upper palate is absolutely real. Mritu means death. Name, salutations. Amarta. Sit down, Sri Hari. I'll repeat it for you in a minute. Amarta means longevity, deathlessness. And if your eyes are looking at the tip of the nose, but you have to little angle it down, you'll find a blue circle. Some may find little, some may find big. Hold it dear. And all your four fingers must be in those mounts. And your thumb must be straightly with your heart. Index finger will be up and Saturn finger will be with your thumb. And you will breathe not the sound of the song, but you will breathe long deep like Mritu is a reverse cycle. When you say Mritu, you will breathe in, Nama, you will hold, and Amrita, you will give. So what you are doing is you are giving longevity to the word, and word in return is giving you death, but you are not dying. Therefore you shall experience perfect. For those who came late, sit in an easy posture comfortably. Have the right Jupiter finger straight. Make this Saturn mudra. Finger has to be straight. And on the left hand, all the four fingers should get into the four mounts of Jupiter, Saturn, Sun and Mercury. And the id, or Dargan tail and Dargan head, should be straight. And the eyes should be at the tip of the nose, holding the blue circle, blue lagoon they call it. Neelkant, that's all it is. And you will breathe Mridu, Mridu means death. You will breathe death. I mean, you have so much power now, you will breathe death. And Name, and you salute it. And Amrita, you will breathe out. Posture should not be shaky, it should not move. You are timed. Do not allow your body any movement. You have the right to experience. You are not the right to just listen to the philosophies and talks. Don't move. Exercise your breath consciously with the mantra. Be alert. You are going to get into the body, muscular and energy changes. Further time, we'll readjust the body. Please allow the body to be adjusted, then hamper it. Continue. standardize. You are entering an era of shakiness. It's normal. It cannot be avoided. Concentrate on the breath and mantra, it will help. Get ready. We are going to go to a heavy change. You have exactly 10 seconds to get ready. Start heavy breath of fire from navel. Press the navel, do it as heavy as you can. You have 4 minutes. You have already gone 10 seconds. Total 3 minutes you have. If you won't do it heavy, you have wasted your exact 44 minutes. It was 11, 11, 11. Now get to it. Up you go, don't make any change, don't give up. You are on the run of the last minute. Heavy, 30 seconds left. That's all you have, folks. Invoke the basic naval power. "15 seconds. Heavy and hurry. 5 seconds, get ready, be alert. Inhale deep, hold tight, synchronize the body, squeeze. Exhale. Exhale. Inhale deep, hold tight, squeeze skin, muscle, bone, structure, limbs. Squeeze. Let it go. Let it go to the last. Inhale deep. Hold. Squeeze. Fiber to fiber. Fiber to fiber squeeze. With a cannon fire, let it go, totally out. Hold out, hold out, hold out. Relax. Try to do whatever you can do to be awakened. Shanti, read this. These are 108 reasons why you should do Kundalini Yoga. Narayana bought it from Alaska, from the University of Anchorage. Read his preface and read the opinions.
October 26, 1992. This is the 18th year I have taught Kundalini Yoga at the University of Alaska, Anchorage. I teach 4 to 6 one-credit classes and require that students write a paper at the end of each semester. These 108 papers are a sketch from thousands of student papers entitled My Most Significant Experience in Yoga this Semester. I have found them to be touching, instructional, and inspirational. Read them yourself in order or at random. They will give strength and affirmation to your existing yoga practice or inspiration to start a new practice. Satnam, near Versing Khalsa, Anchorage, Alaska. Yoga. Having had but one yoga lesson previously, perhaps 18 years ago, in Rhode Island, this has been for me a real adventure and a pleasure. My primary motivation for taking yoga was the hope that it might provide some relief from the pain and aches that I have been experiencing in the past year or two, particularly when I board my sailboat. I typically go sailing about 3 or 4 times a year out of Seattle for a few days to several weeks, and I use a lot of joints and muscles while aboard, and not very many times when I'm between sails. My more typical exercise in Alaska has to do with pushing a brake pedal or an elevator button, and occasionally straddling a snowmobile or chopping a little wood. In summer, I even pedal a bicycle or paddle a canoe at times, and I often do a few simple calisthenics in the morning to help wake up. But increasingly, I've been discovering that my body hurts a lot when I get on board my boat or after I spend a weekend in the woods. What I've found doing yoga is, first, a view of using my body that simply makes sense. Clearly, the idea of stretching tendons, muscles, and joints and bringing oxygen into the deeper corners of my lungs and tissues, as opposed to not using my body and not enhancing the oxygenation of my cells, is totally sensible to me. Second, it is purely obvious to me that significant loss of function already exists in my body. It is a distressing reality that my 61-year-old body disallows me from reaching down to grab an ankle, let alone a toe, with knees straightened, and the inability to simply sit on my feet without pain surprises me. Whether any of that kind of mobility is reclaimable, I don't know yet. But what I do know is that I don't want to lose any more ability to move comfortably any sooner than I absolutely have to. So an interesting question is how presented to me. How can I reclaim it? And how can I keep what I have? I've got decades of living planned. Third, it is an experience of utter bliss to simply recline on the floor for 10 or 15 minutes after 45 minutes of actively stretching and breathing. While my life is relatively stress-free now compared to other phases of my life, it is still an unbelievably delightful experience to bask in that fantastic serenity of body and mind that comes at the end of each session. That must be what drug addicts lust for. Fourth, there is the lure of meditation, which I have dabbled with at other extremely hectic times in my life, times when stress has been deep and wide. I never developed any discipline around that, however. I do get stressed at times, of course. I'm a psychologist, and I share deeply emotional times with my clients almost every day. In addition to a certain amount of stress and painful emotionality from my personal life and relationships, but I seldom feel the pressing need for shutting down my mind as I had at those other times. Still, I believe it is a good sense to have some regular respite from the continual mental activity, and I've had some brief brushes with both the incredible refreshment of being free from the harassing mental turmoil when consumed by it, and also the subtle or bright delight of the new insight that can evolve from it. So I think it would be good for me to continue doing yoga, and I believe it makes sense for me to spend time at it daily, which I have not done thus far. In fact, I wish I had started years ago. I haven't done any reading about it at all Although I read in one of my sailing books of the world champion transoceanic sailor who called upon a yoga teacher to design for him a simple ritual of back exercises for his fatigue and painful spine, which could be done even on the tossing sailboat, which he found totally cured his chronic and nearly paralyzing back pain after he adapted the yoga activity as a daily activity. But now I'm sufficiently motivated to want to read a bit about it, so I think I'll be back next semester, with pleasure, to experience more of this adventure in moving and breathing and meditating and serenity seeking. I appreciate your class, and I've recommended it to family, friends, and clients. Hal Post, December 12, 1988. It's another one. Hi, Nirvair. Another good semester of yoga, gone by already. I decided this time to try teaching a yoga technique, partly because I need to practice, because, as I've mentioned to you once, I wouldn't be surprised if I moved out of state in the relatively near future, and since my tape recorder failed nearly every time I tried to tape a class, I will probably need to teach yoga wherever I go, just so I keep up. How's that for a run-on sentence? Anyway, I decided to teach my roommate, who complains frequently of neck pain caused by an old injury. We really had a great time. She started out by mimicking, in caricature, some of the things she had seen me do that looked really strange for her, such as breath of fire. So we laughed for quite a while at her antics. Then I taught her several exercises. I wanted to work up to head rolls because her neck and back muscles are very tight, and it would have been too painful to just start there. So I showed her some basic spine flex plus 2 variations, shoulder shrugs, the exercises where you twist from side to side with thumbs in front of the shoulder and fingers behind, and then neck rolls. We did each exercise for only a short while because her patience is not very high in this area. Happy face. She loved it and wanted to do it every night. I asked her to describe her experiences of it, and she said it was calming, cleansing, non-threatening to her neck, and made her feel conscious of her body in a new way. She contrasted it with softball, where she uses her body but is not conscious of it. She said she could feel her spine and that doing the exercises made her feel as if she was loving her body. Pretty good description, I thought. Another happy face. For me, the challenge is the describing, where to put the hands, how to hold the chin, what to be aware of, without getting kind of awkward in the verbiage. I am used to doing the exercises and hearing you describe all the details of execution, so this was very good for me. If you want to learn it, teach it. So very true. Glad you're having a year-end party this year. Great idea. Great class, as always. Much love and blessings. Sat Nam, Libby Roderick, April 27th, 1988. My best experience in yoga. I took this class to develop better breathing techniques. In martial arts class, I became aware of the inadequacy of my breathing, and I hope to improve this through yoga. I also wish to increase my flexibility. More importantly, however, I took the class to learn about the Kundalini energy. During an astrological reading, I was told that the Kundalini was very strong in me, and for about 10 years, I've wanted to learn more about this energy. Until now, I have not found much information. This being my first yoga class, I feel that everything was my best experience. There were few instances where it seemed obvious what was happening. In many instances, though, the changes were very subtle, and it is difficult to describe exactly what I experienced. I just know that I feel different. At this point in my life, I am going through some major changes, and I have been spending a great deal of time looking at habits, attitudes, patterns, etc. And on several occasions, the exercise set dealt with precisely the subject I was working on. For example, I had just heard a metaphysical principle explaining in terms of the law of resonance, and during the next class, we heard the Tibetan bells and were told how to listen to the vibration after the sound had dissipated. It was terribly exciting to come into class and learn some new methods to help me with my particular project or focus. This I appreciated very much. The concept of discipline became clearer to me through the exercises and the statements of the instructor that discipline cannot be taught, it has to come from within. For some reason, this made a strong impression and changed my whole approach to the subject. I appreciated the explanations of the etheric body, aura, sound vibration, etc. I would enjoy more information in these areas, and I plan to keep taking this yoga class. I was able to feel the changes in energy when we did the exercises and kriyas, and I always left class feeling uplifted and charged with energy. I learned where I carry tension and am slowly learning to recognize problems as they are coming on. The foot massage was wonderful, and the feelings experienced during the meditation with the Burmese temple gong were going beyond description.
I would like to select some. I have read only 25. They are amazing. But this one blew my mind. I'd like you to read that. There some are very little, but this one was quite a thing. This is from a jazz dancer, this is from this and all that, different people. But this will be fun to read. Come on, my dear. Yeah, got it. Read this, 5th.
Yoga, my best experience. In order to tell you which yoga session was my best experience, I should first explain why I decided to take the course. Presently, I'm an unemployed high school French and English teacher. The possibility of my being hired by the Anchorage School District looks pretty dim. In order to improve my chances of getting a teaching position, I decided to enter graduate school. One problem, however, reared its ugly head, the feared GRE.
What is that?
What is it?
Graduate record examination. It's the final examination.
Okay, go ahead.
Gads, I had not worked on an equation in 30 years, and my vocabulary could certainly use a boost. As a result, brushing up for the mathematics and vocabulary sections of the examination now became my main occupation. I began reviewing the concepts of algebra, geometry, and trigonometry. I made flashcards of vocabulary words and began memorizing their definitions and antonyms. I had heard that yoga could help a person deal with stress, improve concentration, and improve one's memory. I thought, hey, I could use some of that too, so I enrolled in this class. The day that you introduced us to the basic spinal energy series, I tackled the E section of the GRE, vocabulary review. I spent the afternoon memorizing electric, edema, egregious, enjoin, exhort, expulsate, I can't even pronounce these, and so on.
No.
Euthenics, expulcate, exegesis, exegesis, exigency, exigency,
Exigency means some immediate thing, heavy challenge. Go ahead.
and so on. The next morning, I hit my flashcards again, and surprisingly, I remembered every word that I had learned the previous day. I feel that doing the basic spinal energy series helped me to learn and to retain, and that, in my book, makes it the best experience.
Open anything you want. That's funny. Very good. 25th page?
46.
Go ahead.
My most memorable experience in yoga this semester stands out very clearly for me. I came to class this particular day, but my heart was really not into it. A corporate finance test was coming up in my next class, and of course was upmost in my mind. Concentration on the bodies seemed impossible. When you announced that we would be doing the 17-minute breath series, I thought to myself that you couldn't have picked a more difficult exercise. Sitting up straight and still for 17 minutes would be taxing on a good day, and my mind was too cluttered with formulas, concepts, and concerns about the upcoming exam. I had taken this class in the fall of 1990, but could not remember the exact composition of the exercise. But I wasn't wondering for long. Breath of fire for 7 minutes was all I had to hear. It was not one of my favorite exercises, and 7 minutes worth would be very challenging. I really applied myself to the stretching warm-up and listened carefully to the lecture. By the time you said begin, I was determined to persevere. Surprisingly, the entire exercise went very well. I found that I had performed the whole thing without stopping. Even more surprising was that it seemed not as difficult as I had imagined. I felt 100% better, both balanced and relaxed. This is the ideal test-taking state of mind for me. I had been tempted to skip yoga class before the first corporate finance test and also this one, but both times I decided an hour would be better spent practicing yoga, and it turned out to be the correct decision. I have thoroughly enjoyed the class this semester. I am not naturally very flexible, but have made great improvements. My concentration during the meditations has also improved greatly over the last time I took this class. Yoga has certainly been a positive influence for me this term. I would also like to comment on your conduct of the class. I find that you are much more open and connected to the class than in the fall of 1990. Your lectures are much better, and I think it's because you inject personal experiences to which we can all relate. Thank you, and Satnam.
One more and that's it.
59. My most memorable experience in yoga. My most memorable experience, or at least my most enjoyable experience in yoga this semester, was learning how to cook khichdi. Eating it was very enjoyable too. After watching your demonstration on television, I wasn't sure if I could remember the recipe. The combination of ingredients sounded so good, though, I decided I'd give it a try. That evening I went to Cars on my, must be a store, on my way home, hoping that I could find all the ingredients. Since I knew you were in charge of stocking the natural food shelves, I was optimistic that I would be able to find everything. The liquid, I was optimistic that I might even be able to find the liquid that gave the soup the finishing touch. In fact, I was successful in finding everything, even the Bragg's liquid aminos. I was especially grateful to learn how to prepare and cook fresh ginger. Ginger is a spice I use in a lot of curries, but have been intimidated by fresh ginger and have used the dry powdered form. As I remember the approximate amounts of all the ingredients and put them together one by one, I felt that I was cooking up something very healthy for the family dinner. Needless to say, the final product was very much enjoyed and appreciated by all, especially since it was vegetarian. Having the recipe now will make it much easier to cook next time. Even though making khichdi was probably my most enjoyable experience this semester, my most memorable experience took place during the Govinda meditation. It was strange how the words began to change during the meditation. They started out as Govinda, 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 and merged into Govinda, Govinda, go. It all became very circular instead of linear. In the end, when I lay down to relax, with my eyes gently closed, there was an image of a brightly glowing sun at the center of my forehead. I actually checked when the relaxation was over, to see if there was a bright light burning above me in the room, but of course there wasn't. Once again, thank you for your instruction. Writing this paper is the only thing I don't enjoy in the course. Have a wonderful summer.
No, there are some very good experience. I have read only 25, and I think that's the maximum reading I have done in a couple of years. But it puts an extraordinary strain on my eyes. I can't afford it. I don't have the eyes, so when I turn them into processing that way, it very blow over. But I wish you should all read them. It is from very high-class professional college people, and the expression is so normal and truthful and honest. It is amazing. I think it is an amazing thing what I have done to you. I see you coming back slowly, and sometimes we are very hectic. We don't have reverence for our experiences. We don't have. I 100% agree. We don't have any respect for our infinity. That's very shocking to me, I realize. We have no reverence, we have no knowledge, we have no attachment to it. We live by day and day. And there was one Jesuit note, if you can find it out. Jesuit order started with, he quotes the name, he said, don't worry about tomorrow, worry about today, because when tomorrow will come, it will become today anyway. There's nothing to worry about, and he's talking about that. There are a lot of people with a lot of knowledge and experience from different schools of life and test. Similarly, tonight I can tell you something very painful, which is bothersome to me, is that we are not only qualified lunatics, but we really practice this lunatic nature of ours in the sense that we waver too much. We don't give a chance to our infinity. We do not have reverence that we have powers within us. We do not believe that we have soul, which is the seat of the God, and we do not understand that we are all, we are complete. I mean, no idiot made me, God made me. My parents was the instrument to give me growth, but not my soul. And so much being away from divinity and our own reality, and then practicing anger and deceit and blaming and shaming people. I don't know what we do. I don't know how you do it, but maybe I have gone spaced out in telling you not to do it, and maybe it's insensitive in me. But try to understand, I would say, can you create yourself? Yourself? If you cannot create yourself, can you acknowledge yourself? Can you respect yourself? Can you honor yourself? Can you love yourself? Well, everybody says, I love you, I love you. I mean, I also play the same game. Yes, I love you too, I love you too. I mean, it's a joke. Do you love yourself? Do you know yourself? Until you do not love yourself, you know yourself, you feel yourself, you talk to yourself, and how can you know you are? I mean, so what is this degrees? We are getting PhDs and this and that, and we are professionals, and we are all that. We are married, we have children, we have love-making, intercourse, children, all stuff. All that we do. For what? Just to exist? All right. You exist for what? For yourself? When you do not know who you are, and what are you existing for? What this drama is? I don't understand, really. I mean, you're so hustling, and you want to be, and you want to make it, and I understand that. I mean, it's normal. But what it means? The buck stop in you. In the beginning, in the middle, and the end is you. And you have no idea who you are. Alice doesn't live here anymore. So what is this empty shell running around? For what? So what we do is we do commotional, emotional, extensive exercises, and we dramatize them to just feel. Whereas you can feel within you completion. I'm getting tired for working things. I want things to work for me. And that's why I'm teaching you these exercises. These exercises will give you electromagnetics, psychosomatics, projections through thunderbolt to the purpose of your existence, to bring it to you on a silver platter. I'm trying. I'm not going to repeat that exercise which I gave to Sampuran because I was not sure, honest to God, that she will do it. She did it. It's the rough one. So I thought, let her have the experience, let her have the honesty, let her try it, let her come forward and feel. But she existed. And normally I know when we learned with, I learned with my master in the class, we did not walk straight 3 days. Simple, I know it. I remember the experience. It can stone you too. But it took a few minutes with her and she was walking in. It encouraged me. I was just thinking, Americans are not ready for it. I'm not going to do it. So one day, just out of the mood, I just sat down with her. I said, come and see, let us do meditation. She did it. And it's up to her if she does it or not, or experience or not. I hope she does, and she does it. And I like to wait for a few days to get her experience. And I'm going to take young people, very young, because you need, I want to say there are certain things in our body which dwell with years, and I like to take it to young people to give them these. And the access I gave you today is just the beginning. And we exactly did it for 44 minutes. I'm not, normally I should give few times and then do the second part, but I will not. I'll stop. Because I've completed the 3 parts of it. You don't need wings to fly, and you don't need telescope to see, and you don't understand. You are a tremendous, infinite power of divine energy. I realize it's ridiculous to feel, I can't. There's no such thing, I can't. Doesn't exist. It's man-made stuff. Asking for sympathy, empathy is most ridiculous. Self-insult is treacherous. Asking and praying for things, I should not say it, I'm out of the religion, that's ridiculous. But let me phrase it differently. What do you say? Praying to God is a man-made tragedy and treachery. We don't believe the guy knows a thing. How can I say it? I'm supposed to say God, we should pray to God, right? Isn't that my job? My job is to say we should be very righteous, we should be very prayerful, and we should meditate, and we should live righteously. What else? Something like that, right? But to me, it's all ridiculous nonsense. What is living for? He made me, he runs me, he knows me, he does what he does. What's so be afraid and hinky-pinky about it? If he puts me in a ditch, fine. Let him take the responsibility. I think I'm alive because I decided, kill me if you have to. And I think he's scared. Either it's your prayer that you did something to him, or he's out of his loop. And why, question, let's see. You are the Americans, right? You don't trust anybody, you don't believe a thing, and you do not ask how to spell even love. And you are with me from last 20, 25 years. Hallelujah. Who can decide this? Me? No. You? No. There's something more to it. So basically, it's all there. And then I thought, wait a minute, if it's all there, let them have it. So I'm starting this series. I'm not backing out. And I want you to have it. I mean, this is ridiculous. There is a God. There's no God outside. This is right in you. It's there. I was telling my medical doctor here, where is she gone? Oh yeah. We were having a dinner and say, look at Sri Ram's four-point head. It was red like ruby. What is the skin condition on that? Nothing. Unless we have abnormal experiences, we can have it. Everything is not terminal the way we think it. Body has that magnificent power of radiance. I remember when I was in the Himalayan borderline, I took a shelter with a yogi and I stayed in his cave. I have never seen a imperial royal highness luxury hotel equipped with that kind of comfort. He had two caves. One cave has 4 pots and one cave has a huge dome in which he has all his goats. And he had a big herd of goats, and in the winter, freezing winter, they were all happy. And I saw things coming out of him which he served us were unusual. And I asked him, how you get them? He said, they come. I never go anywhere. I said, what do you mean they come? They say when summer happens, all those people I heal while sitting here, they bring me the gifts. Now look at this. Isn't that a telepathy? And next summer I made it a point, I took a break for 1 week to went to that area. It was a lush area, it was winter, it was 10, 11 feet normal snow, solid. But it was a lush area, and I saw those people who come to him. I heard their story and I learned the translation, because every word was translated to me. It was amazing. He fixed people, broken bones, he fixed people, he put people out of they fall into the breaks of the ice, he saved some cow. They were not people who were lying, they were stating facts. And I asked him, I said, do you ever sit in this cave ever, or you are always out doing things? He said, well, it's a survival thing. I have to exist also. I have to act and serve, so these people can take care of me. Everything is mutual. But the phenomena is, if you extend yourself, you widen yourself, you let it come. That's the beauty. That's what I found. If you ever ask me, I don't need to even express myself. I am pre-expressed, that's not the problem. But just to help each assess, going this way and going this way, or going this way, going this way or this way is not enough. No, going simultaneously 60 degrees this way, widening yourself, opening yourself, let it come. It shall come. It has no other way. It's a secret which has been taken away from us and hidden behind us. We have been asked to go up, elevate. Oh, it's infinity and infinity. It is very easy to do it. It's ridiculous to do it, waste of time. There's nothing out there. There's nothing underneath. It's all in the width. Hug even a cobra. He won't hiss at you. If you cannot see God in all, you cannot see God at all. And you cannot see yourself because you are God. It looks very egomaniac statement, or lunatic, or stupid. But there is nothing, there was nothing, and there shall be nothing but you. And all the memory you left behind in goodness, in elevation, in service, and that's your width. Tantra means length and width. The waves of length and width means exactly Tantra. And I'm very humbly very grateful to you. Being a Mahan Tantric, I understood the definition today. It's not the length, it's not the width, the wave of the length and width knitted together. So cling to each other. Interact, twine. Don't be afraid. Don't accept too much, don't reject too much. Is all at his is. And if I can say, if I have learned anything in my life, I have exactly learned from my charity. I can say it. The tree has taught me, when weather is good, and there is fruit. When weather is bad, there's no fruit. Fall has come, it's going to shed its leaves. Next spring, it will grow again. But it has never changed its identity by being a cherry tree. It doesn't know how to act anything but cherry tree. Good and bad happens. It is sometimes very green, sometimes it's not. I don't know what it is. But under all circumstances, it's a cherry tree. It gives cherries or not, but it's a cherry tree. If we can just learn, we are nothing but human. Doesn't matter what happens, we are human. That's all we have to learn. If trees can learn it, stones can learn it, we can learn it too. You know, it's very funny. Turquoise is turquoise, green turquoise, dark green turquoise, heavy turquoise, light turquoise, Persian turquoise. Turquoise, turquoise, what is it, turquoise? It has never become a ruby. And ruby will never like to become turquoise. Even you ask it. So why can't you not learn from stones, from tree, from birds? Cat is always a cat. Call it a dog, it will frown at you. Because she will recognize you are a super idiot. How can you call a cat a dog? And how can you call a dog and a cat? But God knows you, nobody knows who you are. Sometimes you call somebody a friend, second day you call him enemy, third day you're in love with somebody, fourth day you hate it, one day you marry it, next day you don't know. Oh God, you worry too much, you mess up too much. It's not right. It's not the thing. It's not in. You know what I mean? It's not in the age of Aquarius, what you have been doing in Pisces. It won't work, it won't play. You are as you are. And you are as you made yourself you are. You can be as you want to be. You shall be what your will is. And that's God's will. So please understand that. It's a very simple thing. Why width, spread, go, be, let it be. Don't go this way, holier than thou. Don't go this way, I'm nothing. It doesn't work. It's an insult. You are a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful piece of art. Learn the science to have width. I don't mind telling you, I have lived through poverty, I pray you should never touch it. I have lived through richness, you can't count it. I have lived through treachery, I pray you should not be touched by that kind of stuff. But wait a minute, let us put it together. What is this? Nothing. There are a lot of waves on the ocean. What is it? Nothing. Waves are waves, ocean is ocean. You can't separate waves from ocean, why do bother? And what you'll get out of counting waves? What are you going to count yesterday? Dropped yesterday, dropped. Those who have passed have no tomorrow. And tomorrow cannot do anything today. It shall come and become today by turning himself. Every tomorrow has to turn to today, and every today will become yesterday. It's a route, it is a routine. Don't give up on your happiness. Even in your extreme, terrible, highly painful situation, trust your endurance. Trust your courage. And trust the one who gave you the breath of life. Beyond that, there's no lesson to learn. When you have a love, you have no question. When you have question, you are miles and miles away from the state of love. Love is experience of oneself within oneself, and one doesn't question oneself. All your questions shows chapter 7 on love and chapters 11 on your courage. So, next class will be meeting, I think next week, next Tuesday, we'll do the second part of it. And I will not trust myself for the sake of yours, but I'd like you to stretch out, lie down, and stretch your bone structure in cow and a cat and in an angry way. You have to become angry for about 3 minutes, and about your body, you get weird so that you become normal. From that to that, we have to balance. And stretch your body in cow and cat and become angry like rascals and whatever that takes, and do it, and then we'll be free. Yeah, angrily, just, you know. Come, earth. Well, it will be fine with you, but it will not satisfying with me that I let you go without. Come on, stretch your toes and hands and everything else. All right? Come on. Stretch your body, go on a sideways, left side stretch. That doctors do. What do they do? They turn it around, this and that. Just twist yourself. Now I know the word. Twist. Feel yourself, twist yourself. Now on your, while you're sitting, just jump a little bit, so pressure your, and with this, may the long time sun shine upon you, all loves, and
light within you, guide your way on.
God, blessing God, creative God, within me, without me, my, yours, ours, God, make me worthy as a curious human to live in my width and experience and my vastness, so the limits may not limit me to tragedies, and my narrowness may not bring me the sorrows. Give me all width, infinity you have, so hereafter when I leave my body, I can merge in that width. Wherever you are, whatever you are, how it caused. Let me save me from cause and effect, and let me be in the rhythm of harmony, peace and tranquility. Let me understand truth is my identity as Satnam, truth was my identity as Satnam, truth shall be my identity Satnam, as that is your only perfect, infinite understanding. Let me live through the words, Kittam ja naam dre meri jiva Satnam tiruparo purupla. Let me understand that truth, that infinity. Give me the strength within myself. Myself, awaken yourself to reach out the goal of life, so that all in one and one in all can exist within my all resources, actions, and thoughts and projection. Satnam. Now go home. Go. Hey, nobody has a birthday today? No cookies? That's a bad idea. Hey, something has to be served. Langar.
Satnam, having been healed by the Sri Singh Sahib, now we can heal ourselves with Guru Ka Langar and nourish our bodies. If you'd like to go out into the main room on the marble, we'll be serving there. And we also request your seva of cleaning your dish afterwards in the kitchen. It's all set up.
We want to invite everyone to come to the Ransabai Kirtan. Tomorrow night, it starts with a Gurdwara at 9 o'clock, and the music will go all night. And Saturday night to come to the Guru Gadi potluck at Shantikar's house at 6:30. And Sunday morning to come to the parade, which starts down at the Gold House, breakfast and the Guru Gadi Jalus, and following Gurdwara. Thank you.
I've taught a class, I didn't dance. Huh? Hey, where are you going? Sleeping tonight?
Yes, sir.
Oh, that is going to happen?
Oh, wow, what is that?
Oh, wow. This is what you came out with?
Great, yeah,
Yes.
that's a big deal. Well, that's the poster for the conference. Do you want your glasses?
That's a mini. Ah, good. But sit down, bhai.
I want to go home. I'm hungry.
Best kind of meditation for the so that's our first thing. A great person.